Jain are going to give a presentation on India's relationship with Saudi Arabia. It is also called Indo-Saudi relationship, which refers to bilateral relationship between India, Republic of India, and Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It is very strong, especially since 1947, and it currently revolves around two main areas, which is trade and investment and defense cooperation. In Saudi Arabia is India's largest oil supplier, crude oil supplier, which marks 20% of its demand. Now I'm going to brief you about the economic relationship. Trade and commerce has been a major component of this bilateral relationship. As I told, Saudi Arabia is the largest supplier of crude oil. It is also increasing its supply of LPG, which is butane and propane. Currently, it is the second largest supplier of LPG after Qatar. And energy is also a very important component. Saudi Arabia provides reliable and stable energy through evergreen contracts. India intends to further strengthen this relationship through non-oil sectors. Modi visit to Riyadh marked an important event in this relationship. He encouraged Saudi Arabia investment in India under the Make in India program. Over to Jain.
Good afternoon, morning all present here. Today I am going to give you a brief introduction about the social relations between India and Saudi Arabia. Migration has emerged as another key pillar of bilateral relations. Modern overseas employment opportunities. Modern overseas employment opportunities for the Indian workers had started in Saudi Arabia after the first boom in oil price in 1973 and 74. The contribution of Indian workers in building the Saudi Arabia's economy and enriching its society has been repeatedly acknowledged by the Saudi royals and the other high dignitaries. As previously mentioned, large number of Indian workers in Saudi Arabia, generally known as Indian ambassadors, have enriched the Saudi cuisines and other tastes, besides spreading awareness and understanding between the two countries. The other organizations formed by Indians in Saudi Arabia are involved in bridging the gap between the two countries. The annual Hajj and Umrah pilgrimages are a regular and important focal point of Indian and Saudi cultural interactions. The Indian Council of Cultural Relations have been active in organizing programs in Saudi Arabia aimed at promoting mutual cultural relations and understanding between the two countries. Now I'd like to hand over the mic to Kumar.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to give you a brief introduction about the political relationship between India and Saudi Arabia. Cooperation between the two countries in the fields of defense and security is relatively new. However, in the recent years, both the countries have forged a close tie in this area. In February 2012, A.K. Anthony led a military delegation to Saudi Arabia, becoming the first Indian defense minister to visit the kingdom. On this occasion, both the countries reached an agreement for training of military personnel and setting up the Joint Defense Cooperation Committee. The training of Saudi Arabia forces for mountain warfare and the initiation of joint defense manufacturing. 2 years later, the defense minister of Saudi Arabia and the Crown Prince King Salman visited India, which resulted in signing of the joint defense manufacturing pact. Both the countries have signed an extradition treaty and agreement for transfer of sentenced persons. Riyadh have handed over a dozen of suspects to India, including Abu Junaid to India for being a suspect in non-state acts. So I would like to conclude this, but in a decade, the relation of India and Saudi Arabia has been transformed from a transactional relationship to a strategic partnership. Accordingly, the scope of cooperation has widened not just within traditional areas such as energy, migration, and trade, but also in areas sectors such as investment, pharmaceutical, IT, and space. India and Saudi Arabia also reached a greater understanding on security and defense matters. Importantly, India and Saudi Arabia have reached to a point where they will not let a third country hinder their relationship, unlike in the past. Thank you.
Thank you.